We can go ahead and put all of this stuff here. And look at that. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to some more Stoneblock 4. Today, we're going to be going on a bit of a lightning round. Because for the next world engine upgrade, to be able to complete chapter 3, we're gonna need to go down a couple of quests, but they're not quite big enough for me to make a whole video out of that I feel could really be satisfying. So we're going to be going through this a little bit quickly, as quick as I can mentally muster, and we are going to hopefully be able to get through all of these. So the 3 mods that we will need is going to be from oritech, industrial foregoing, and from actually additions. That one's going to be the coolest. We will start with oritech. Now, in oritech, it has its own little quest line. Our goal for the final craft is to get this flux gate. To get that, we're going to need to go through a couple of other machines. Fortunately, we only really need 4 from this mod. And that's going to be the pulverizer, actually. I always want to call it a crusher. The centrifuge, the assembler, and the enduric laser. And they are all also going to need these early machine casing. Now, this also is going to involve a lot of crafting of the same thing, so I'm just going to go over the basic components that oritech uses. You got a motor, which is made from the magnetic coils with steel and some nickel. Magnetic coils, we've gone through those before, Invar, and copper wires. It's all incredibly easy to get, and everything is going to use those in their recipes. Overall, we're only going to need 8 of these motors. So now we can go ahead and craft ourselves our pulverizer. And then I believe I should already have everything for the centrifuge. Yep, all incredibly easy. Now, the rest of these guys I would love to be able to make right now, but I actually can't. Well, I mean, I can't in the case of the final one. This one, I just need a new alloy called adamant, which is just a mix of diamond and nickel. And fortunately, I should only need 2. Oh, that was the wrong thing. I should only need 2 of those, so that should be fine. But for right now, we can just go ahead and stick these guys over here on their own, and there we go. But you'll see this one right here doesn't look right. That is because outside of the pulverizer, these are going to need certain machine cores for them to work. You can see right here, this one is going to use only 1. So then we right click it, and then like a transformer, we now have ourselves a working centrifuge. So that's those guys all powered and ready. Now, as I said, this enduric laser, the last thing, needs something that I need these guys for first. And that is these carbon rods. For me to be able to get these carbon rods, I need either HOP graphite or coal dust. Now, I haven't gone into immersive engineering yet, so I can't do that. So all we really need is to just take ourselves some of this coal. I'm just going to go ahead and stack it up just because why not? And then we can just throw this into our pulverizer. Yes, I could use my mechanism crusher, but this, at least at its current phase, is faster. So then we would throw this into our centrifuge with a cool animation, and then we get our carbon fiber stick. So I should only need 3 of these carbon fibers, so I already got enough of that. I probably didn't need to make that much coal dust, but you know, whatever. Now, though, I got my adamant out, so we can go ahead and make ourselves our assembler right here, which is another source of auto crafting, and then we can almost make ourselves the enduric laser, but we just need one more thing that is also made inside of this assembler. So for the last component, we just need to use one of our carbon fiber sticks and our adamant. And then another new thing that we will get from grinding up ender pearls. I think it's just like an ender pulp kind of thing. It's not quite ender dust, but it's a compound. It looks very pulpy though. So then we just need to put 2 of those into here. This will then do its own little animation. I love oritech. Its animations are great. And that gets us the enduric lens, which we can then go ahead and use to combine with all the rest of this to get ourselves our enduric laser. So now that we have this baby, we are ready to be able to make the final thing, the flux gate. This is just going to need a few things. The enduric laser comes in with this stuff called fluxite. Now, fluxite I can get by using the laser on amethyst clusters. If we go ahead and put this baby down right here, and then I'm going to need to put another one of these, slap that there, and also, of course, want to add some power to this baby. There we go. It is all ready. But you'll notice it kind of just aims aimlessly. It's just looking at me. It's kind of creepy. That is because we are still missing one more thing for this. The target designator. That takes plastic. You know what? I'm an idiot. I also realized that for the processing unit, something that we were going to need for this guy also needs plastic. Okay, so first to get plastic, we could do it in a multitude of ways. One of which we could use the centrifuge, but it really wouldn't be the best way for me to do it. And I'm just gonna need to get a better way for this later on anyways. So we're gonna start by just doing the better way. which is for dry rubber. Now, for me to get dry rubber, I could do it in multiple ways. One would be with a latex processing unit, which is the normal way of you actually being able to do it. Then I would also need to sap trees from their sap, or alternatively get into something called fluid cows. I don't actually know how those work, and I'm not sure I really want to get into those. Plus, it doesn't really tell me how it wants me to do that. So instead, we are actually going to be making the rubber chicken. Now, the rubber chicken is a tier 4 chicken. I have yet to acquire tier 4, but I do have the chickens necessary to make it, which is just the oak and orange chicken. Now, in terms of the tier 4 seeds, they are not too difficult to get. I already have almost everything, except for this mending neuro gel, which I can get from a multitude of ways, but I feel like the best way is to just get it from its quest reward, which is, of course, going to involve us going down another small tech mod. Basically, the start of it just involves us mixing some quartz lapis and soul sand to get ourselves a bunch of this cognitive dust, which we can then smelt down in order to get ourselves this cognitive amalgam. And then we can go ahead and then use this to make ourselves some cognitive alloy, which we just get from mixing it with some copper. And then also we can make ourselves this cognitive crystal, which we can then mix all that together with some redstone to get ourselves this astral assembly, which then completes this quest here, leading us into the one that we really want, the molecular metamorpher. Now, the molecular metamorpher is also incredibly easy, as we are just going to need a few more of these guys right here. And then I can go ahead and just mix that with the rest of these to get our assembler. So we can go ahead and go through all that to get ourselves our molecular metamorpher. There we go. Now this involves like experience and stuff like that. So this could technically go near my mob farm, but I don't really have a need for that at the moment. Really, all we need is just this blob of mending neuro gel, as now we can go ahead and combine these together to get ourselves our mending neuro gel, which I can then combine with everything to get ourselves our chicken seeds. Now I need to exchange everything for chicken seeds of tier 4. Alrighty, so they're all connected and reconfigured to the new seeds. So now I should really just need to go ahead and grab all my dry rubber that I'm gonna generate from this guy. He's gonna generate way more than I'm realistically going to need. And then we can just smelt this down, and then we'll have our plastic. All right, so now we got our plastic. So now I can go, oh, that was way too much. I hope that didn't cause any problems, but there we go. Now we can go ahead and start throwing this in, and then we'll start getting ourselves our processing units, which is, I should need more than 4 of these guys. So that's good. So then once this last one's made, we can then go ahead and use it for the immediate use, which is to get ourselves our target designator. There we go. That is beautiful. So then I just go ahead and throw this last one over here for later, and then we get to move on to the true meat and bones of this baby, targeting and designating where this baby needs to go. So if I go ahead and right click this, position stored, and then I can shift right click him, and then he will target that and it'll send it over. And yeah, that's just gonna keep digging. Well, now that we've gotten these, we can just go ahead and put these 2 in, not the third one, with my processing unit. And then I just need some platinum. I haven't actually gathered up any platinum yet, but it's really not that difficult for me to get. I'm pretty sure I can just get its tiny dusts from endstone. And now it's the final craft that awaits us. We can go ahead and throw this baby into here, ending off our oritech side of all of this. We now get ourselves the flux gate. Now, for the recipe, I am going to need 2 flux gates, and I'm actually also going to need 4 of these in total, so that way I can get the World Engine Advanced upgrade, which means I'm going to need to get even more of these flux sites, which becomes a little bit of a problem, considering that I would just need to keep doing that whole breaking everything over and over again. Except, now that I've completed this quest line, the quest also gives me some budding amethyst as well. And what we can go ahead and do with that budding amethyst is very simple. I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy right over here. So what we can now go ahead and do is, if I target this baby directly, this is gonna start acting a little different than you might think. So I can go ahead and put this laser down right here, and then we can go ahead and just assemble it. I can target this, and now what's instead going to do is it is going to induce the growth of the clusters, and then it'll start breaking them automatically, and it'll start giving me fluxite from this side specifically, since that's where the laser is going. So this is going to both give me fluxite and also just straight up amethyst. So there we go. That's how we're gonna keep getting more fluxite. The rest of it's all just repeats. Now that we have done all of that and all of that is out of the way, the next line that we need to pursue is going to be our industrial foregoing. Now we've already slightly started that with our plastic, so now we just need to continue. The main thing that we want from this is going to be the advanced machine frame. For us to make that though, we're going to need some things. Firstly, we're going to need some pink slime, but we're also going to need a dissolution chamber, both of which are going to come from different blocks in here. The big slime coming from a mob slaughter factory. It's all actually incredibly simple, but it all starts with this pity machine frame. I'm going to need 3 of these, as the advanced machine frame is going to be an upgrade from this. So with these 2 machines, it's all going to come together. Then we're just going to need to get ourselves a butt ton of these gears, and then just some iron tools. So now that we got those, we can go ahead and make ourselves the mob slaughter factory and the dissolution chamber. However, I have also, something has occurred to me. For me to get the advanced machine frame, along the line, I'm gonna need this simple machine frame, which is going to need latex. So I am actually going to need to make myself the fluid extractor, which means that me avoiding it was nigh pointless. So yeah. So if we go over to the, I think it's general tech, that's where this guy is stored. This will actually also give me some acacia logs as well. And the good thing about acacia is, I'm actually going to go ahead and place this here, is that acacia will actually give us even more latex than any other log. Then we can also just go ahead and put our dissolution chamber here, and then I can sort all these out later. So for now, we just need to let the latex generate. As for the pink slime that we're gonna need to get, we are gonna need to set that up over here in the mob farm. So let's just go ahead and put that there. It should show the working area. It will be exactly there. That is beautiful. And then this will start generating pink slime, and I think it's liquid meat. All right, so now we're all ready. So what I need to do is I just need to put in 2 of these nether bricks, then 2 plastic. It doesn't matter which order I put these all in, as long as everything is in here. So then we can go ahead and put those guys into there, lock this, and now the recipe is already in there. The next thing that we're just gonna need is to put our tank full of latex up top, find the fluid input, and then pull from that top. It is important that I use it as a pull, because then I can also push this stuff out even if it doesn't use up all of the latex. This way, it can be a lot easier. So there we go. Then we get ourselves our 2 simple machine frames. We can go ahead and unlock this and then set the top back to push. Then we would do the same for, where did I put my tank? Okay, I don't know where the tank itself wandered off to, but somehow my pink slime is now in my dissolution chamber. Well, I'm not gonna sweat the details, so we can just go ahead and put in our 2 netherite scrap, our 2 gold, and then our 1 simple machine frame. Go ahead and lock that recipe. And I mean, this is, between these 2, it's gonna use up all the pink slime anyways. So, you know, that's good. So then I can just go ahead and throw the rest of those guys into there. And we also have unlocked our advanced machine frame. The final thing that we need is going to be empowered dimetite. Now, this is the simplest of these mods, and also kind of the coolest, as this involves lasers. So to start with this, we need this block right here that I had made in the past, the atomic reconstructor. It's not facing a good way, so there we go. Now we can go ahead and have it like that, and it'll be on pulse. Then what we can go ahead and do is we can throw in 15 blocks of quartz in front of this. It'll shoot out a laser that we couldn't see for some reason, and get ourselves this ethic quartz. We can also go ahead and take chiseled quartz blocks, laser that, and then we get ourselves ethic green quartz. And then one of the other things we're gonna need is to shoot this further away so that I can see the laser. And then we get ourselves these redstonia crystals, all very which are important. With these ethic quartz and the ethic green quartz, we can go ahead and make ourselves 5 of these display stands. This is a total of 30 blocks of quartz, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. We are also going to need 5 of these advanced coils, which means we're going to need 5 of these basic coils. Then we just go ahead and throw the rest of these guys in, to then get ourselves our 5 display stands. Then we're just going to need 1 of those guys to help us make this empowerer, which, of course, is just going to mean more stuff. Do I just want to buy this thing? It looks like it's on the list. I could buy it from the mechanist. I'm gonna do that, because these guys are easy. I already got those. I'm just gonna go ahead and buy a double battery. Is this a waste of money? Absolutely. Do I care? Absolutely not. So now we can go ahead and take that one, and we've gotten ourselves the empowerer. So now this thing is fully ready and raring for operation. We just need to go ahead and remove this as this is going to take up a good little bit of space. So what we want to go ahead and now do is put this in power here. We go out by 2, and then we put this block here. And then we do the same along all 4 sides. I think that there can't be any obstruction, so we want to move that out of the way. There we go. So now this is all almost ready. We just need to pour power into each of these display stands. So that is all ready and ready to go. So now we just need to make ourselves the empowered diamondite, which is actually incredibly simple. We just need a block of clay, 2 clay balls, and a light blue dye. I also forgot we need to 1 more laser thing, or you know what I meant. We just need to go ahead and laser a diamond block to get ourselves our block of diamondite. So here we go. Now is the moment of truth. We can go ahead and put all of this stuff here, and look at that. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna back up for a partial thumbnail shot. I'm gonna try to get everything else into here as well. And it all was in time for the diamondite crystal to be created, which now gives us everything we need for the advanced machine upgrades. I'm gonna need to make 1 more diamondite crystal. That is fine. And I already got all the advanced machine upgrades. I just need to make 3 more flux gates and also some Enderium, which we've all made that in the past video, so that's not hard for me to get. Let's go ahead and gather all this stuff for this final process. And just because I love this mod so much, I'm gonna show the lasers again. Look at it. It's pristine. It's beautiful. Sexy even. Maybe not. Alrighty, I got everything. I got the Enderium. I literally only actually needed to make 1 of the recipe. So now we can just go ahead and throw those all into here. Oh, it's gonna use a lot. It uses 32,000 a tick for 7 million. I mean, I knew I needed to put this thing under a stress test to see how much energy it can produce. I don't know how much energy those furnaces actually do, but now we've gotten ourselves our advanced machines, which are probably going to go somewhere in here since this is where the normal world engine machine blocks are. So it's probably going to go somewhere in there. So now we can go ahead and head on back to spawn and then speak with the echo of the catalyst and complete his final one. But there we go. That means he is all done. So now we've gotten that. So now we just need to speak with the echo of guidance once again, and that completes that next stage. There we go. Oh, how joyous. I can now participate in even more gambling. You saw everyone you saw before. I could get random wyvern gear. Now I can get random awaken gear. Let's go ahead and roll it and see what I can get. A draconic shield capacity. Do I want to waste the rest of my money into this? Yes. Yes, Gambler's Itch. The Draconic Flight Module. Good. The Draconic Velocity. Okay, I've wasted my money on things that I can't even use. So now we have unlocked the Oblivion level of things. I can already see this is gonna take me some places. Okay, that should be fun. But for right now though, let us go ahead and head on back to this area. And then we can go ahead, submit our world engine upgrades. And here we go. Oh my gosh. Look at that. It's gonna put all of them there. Oh my gosh, it fits so well. Dude. This is awesome. We have now acquired the advanced upgrades for our world engine. That is beautiful. So now with that also, I'm pretty sure that unlocks some crafts that I was wanting to do, but I couldn't do it just yet. I don't remember what those are, but now I can do them. This is absolutely awesome, though. We have finally achieved what I've been looking forward to for a while. I don't know if I'm gonna go for this one to complete the tier 3 quest line, because literally all it wants me to do is find Ignis and fight him, and then do a whole thing with Malum, which I could literally do in like 5 minutes. I don't know if I'll do that. I'll decide later. For right now, all I want to do is open up today's chance cube. Yes, this is a part of the show where I open a chance cube, risking my life for all your entertainment. And I haven't quite gotten all the ores from the last chance cube yet, and I haven't fixed my altar. So if this chance cube breaks all these ores, I'll be upset. Let's see. I already know. It gave me a sponge and it gave me pants. I love your puns, game. I'm not going to beat this game. No, it's called completing this game. I wouldn't beat the game. That would be rude. Like this stupid pun. So do you like this video? Good. Then be sure to check out our last Stoneblock 4 video where we got ourselves our auto crafting and our quantum ring world engine upgrade. Bye-bye!